is your painting? Oh, your painting's right there. So we're doing a little, you know, that Zach Galifianakis or whatever. Zach Galifianakis, between two ferns, one orchid.
I love it. How's everything going today? Going well?
Well, now that we're with you, yeah. It's great.
It's been working hard, working on these 4 freedoms and finishing up freedom of worship here, and it's been an adventure.
So our first question was about the significance of the 4 freedoms, that today they still hold a lot of relevance given our current cultural and social climate. So we were wondering if there was one of the 4 freedoms that for you was more poignant than the others or emotional for you to recreate.
Yeah, you know, it was really a crazy time, you know, as we all know, you know, like in March and February, March, April, and all the big changes going on in the world right now, all the great changes, good things happening. Mm-hmm. And, you know, but we also have the, you know, pandemic going on at the same time. So while I was working on, you know, freedom of speech, which is that piece that Rockwell did, of the man standing up and speaking at the town hall meeting. You know, I worked on this piece. Actually, I can show you. I worked on this piece. This is a G-clay of this piece. It was just a really poignant time for me to be personally working on that, and you know, getting the models and meeting the models and seeing how supportive they were of my work. But the fact that I was working on that a couple months before the George Floyd incident, so it was just really like poignant for me, knowing it was a confirmation that what I was doing was significant and at the right time and personal for me. So
relevant to the times, and
yeah, very relevant.
Throughout history, it continues.
Yeah, it's like a continuous sort of significance and relevance, and the freedom from fear piece was also, you know, very significant for me personally, because I was working on it at a time when there is fear all around the world, and with the pandemic going on, and you know, I wrote things in the newspaper in that painting, like significant little headlines and things that indicate our time now, today, but it replicates Rockwell's composition from World War II, when these parents were tucking their kids in, you know, to go to sleep at night. And so it's a omnipresent sort of situation that I think all humans will always have, of, you know, wanting to keep their family safe and keep their life, you know, the life of their family safe.
Yeah, I think in each of the pieces that you've created so far, you really capture the moment and the emotions of the work that Rockwell had done, and made it contemporary and as of today.
For you. So we wanted to talk to you about how you mentioned previously that inclusivity and representation were important drivers for the series. And so what did you do to implement this when updating Rockwell's classics?
Yeah, you know, I did everything I could possibly think of. I was working with, I mean, for example, on this piece on freedom of worship is a great example of inclusivity and diversity, and including as many different religions that I could think of. And so I was hiring the thing that I really love about this piece in particular is that I hired all authentic models, people that actually practice this particular religion. And so that inclusivity of, you know, finding people that are, you know, this is their life, this is what they practice, and it's all good. We can all be happy, we can all live together, and you know, be one big happy family. That's kind of what I wanted. What I'm thinking for this series is that I want it to be, you know, inclusive, diverse. You know, talking with my models, like on freedom of speech, Donald and Kelly, and they were wonderful, and they were, so happy that I was, doing this painting of freedom of speech with them. And that was a great feeling for me personally.
You can really feel the emotion. Do you mind taking a minute and just taking us through the piece that the third part of the series you're working on right now?
Yeah, this was Rockwell's Freedom of Worship, and on his original, it says, actually I have an original poster here from World War II. He wrote, "Each according to the dictates of his own conscience." So that's kind of the thoughts I was thinking as I was beginning to compose this new composition. I was thinking of as many as I can fit. I was limited to about 9 faces, in six major faces. So I tried to be as inclusive as possible, and I tried to find as many different kind of also age ranges of different kind of people. And I love, as you guys might know, I love texture and I love detail in my work, and I love designing things. So I love the thought process. I was thinking of this, the first thing was this sweeping fluid motion here.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of like a conch, shell.
Oh yeah.
So I was thinking of this flow here, and it's kind of coming into a centerpiece here, but it kind of brings you into the composition. That was, physically what I was thinking with that. And the light source coming from the same direction, kind of including everybody together in the same light source. And different hands, how different hands are doing different activities, and the different textures, different garments, investments. And
the color palette's really beautiful. I mean, it comes across as very spiritual and kind of the color, the light reflecting is really beautiful on it, as all the other pieces too.
I really enjoyed this, getting into this, like the patterning and all the details. It was kind of, physically drives you crazy a little bit, but.
Yeah, your attention to detail is amazing, Danny. I mean, that's, your attention to detail and authenticity is remarkable.
For these 4 pieces, I think a lot is said in the titles, and I think Rockwell communicated a lot of the essence in his originals, but what do you want people to take away from them when they view these pieces?
What I was thinking is I want people to feel good. It's going to be a feel good series in all the 4 freedoms, to feel inclusive, to feel like they're included. Actually, what the real great feeling I had was, I've been getting comments online just from, just for example, I just posted this morning, just me working on this painting, and I got comments of how great it feels from these different people who practice, Islam, commenting, like, even I got a private message from somebody who practiced Sikhism, and they were just so flabbergasted, and they feel so good that it's being represented in the contemporary art world, and that I did this. So for me personally, it's kind of a win-win, because I love making it, and I made people feel good and included.
I think there's a chain of hope that's going through the pieces as well. I think they're all very hopeful, and I feel like that's something we really need right now. And I think that your work is very uplifting, at least to me personally.
Actually, that was one of the words I was thinking of that I forgot to say. Yeah, hope. And when I was working on freedom of speech, especially freedom from fear, there's a hope. I mean, we're still, there's still fear out there. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now with this pandemic and everything, and with the elections coming up in November.
Yes.
And so I just feel like there's a lot of hope that we have for the world. This series is about this uplifting, feel good, hopeful quality. So I'm hopeful, and I have to believe in what I'm working on, and I do. So.
Well, we believe in you, Danny, and these works are truly, truly remarkable. And I look forward to seeing this one, and I can't wait to see what you do for the final piece as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
And this was between one orchid.
I love
Okay, thanks, Danny.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh, darn, now we get the cat.
I know, right on.